So where are all the fascinating ladies? Huh? Hmm? Can all the ladies start coming in? Huh? Can I have the link? Where are all the women in the house? Where are all the ladies? That song is Every Woman by the late Whitney Houston. So today we are looking at every woman, huh? The fascinating woman. Can you dance to it? Um, uh, hmm? All right. I just wanted us to, I wanted us to just dance to The Fascinating Woman, Every Woman by Whitney Houston. So, welcome to Firebrand Ladies eventful, eventful program. All right. The first of its kind. Okay. So today we're looking at the fascinating woman. So you know what? If you know what it means to be a fascinating woman, it means that you cannot afford to connect to this program alone. So today we'll be having a wonderful, amazing young woman known as Faithful Okezie. So, but before my guest speaker will come on, can we at least begin to invite every lady you know? Just drop it in their inbox and say, "Hi, fascinating woman, can you join this program?" Can we do that? I also do mine. Let's just get our phones and begin to type, "Hi, fascinating woman. Can you join us tonight?" You can even mention their names in the comment section and just say, "Hi, fascinating woman. Can you join us tonight?" Because we're here to learn. And don't just type their names. Give them honor today. Say, "Hi, fascinating woman. Can you join us today?" All right. As you do that, just be dancing to Whitney Houston's Every Woman. Okay? So let's begin to invite all the ladies. And please, this is to inform us that we are live on YouTube and on Facebook. So in case you don't want to be on Facebook, you can just go to YouTube and view from there. So just 3 more minutes before I bring in our guest speaker, because today we are hitting the ball rolling. And make sure you came prepared. You came with your questions. All right. So this is the fascinating woman brought to you by the Firebrand Ladies. So all the girls in Firebrand Ladies platform, go right there into your platform and begin to tell every Firebrand lady to come on air. This is where they are meant to be. It is not in their on their phones or in the platform. No, every lady is supposed to be here. This is not my program. I'm doing it for Firebrand Ladies, okay? And your leader is supposed to have informed you, that's Miss Ruth William, supposed to have informed you that you all should be here. It is mandatory. So it is not my program, it is the program for all the ladies. I'm not a Firebrand lady because I'm not a youth, okay? I'm just the mother hen over all the hens leading, okay? So I'm the mother to your leader and her escorts. So every lady is supposed to be here today because we need to learn. You know, it's easier when you learn from not just those of us that are mothers or fathers. You also learn from those that are your age, okay, that are doing excellently in all their endeavors. So, okay, so can we begin to mention the names of all our friends, all the ladies, and tell them, come here, just tell them, "Hi, fascinating woman. Can you join this program? Hi, Adrian, fascinating woman. Can you join this program? Hi, Ruth, as I see your name, I'll call. It's fascinating woman. Can you join this program? Hi, Hosanna, fascinating woman. Can you join this program? Mention their names, tell them, let them join the program. So we have 1 more minute before the guest speaker will come. I will bring her on. So, but let me just talk about our guest speaker. Um, let's talk about our guest speaker before I bring her on. All right. So can I have the link? Can someone send me the link? I need the link because I also need to invite some of the ladies I have over here in Canada. Okay, so can I have the link sent to me on WhatsApp? Okay, so I'm about to read. Let's just talk briefly about the guest speaker. The guest speaker's name, let me just read about her. So she's Miss Faithful Ugum Sinachi. Oh my God. Those of us that are not Igbos, you might not understand this name. This name talks about my honor is in the Lord. My honor is from the Lord. It's a very powerful name. Ugum Sinachi is a passionate professional baker, sugar artist, and enthusiastic tutor with 4 years experience in the baking industry. So we're looking at the fascinating woman. We want to know what makes her fascinating. All right. So Faithful is the founder and creative director at Nachi Bites, Port Harcourt. Her passion further led her to start the Nachi Bites Academy, where she teaches and shares her craft skills and has now trained over 730 students physically and online. Don't mind me, I want to say physically. Okay, so she's here, but I will soon bring her on the screen. So he's also the founder of Godhead, a gospel community with 300 members that exists to intentionally grow people spiritually and enhance their work with God. She is a graduate of the Department of Linguistics and Communication Studies, University of Port Harcourt. And I want to say she's also young because I had to ask her, how old are you? Like with all those things. And I was so amazed at how young she is. So Miss Faithful is already here. I'm about to add her. So we're going to be seeing her. Faithful, how are you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear her. Faithful, can you talk? I asked you how are you so that because I can't hear you. Can we hear her? Oh, I think she's having network challenge. Um, can someone let her know that we've lost her? Faithful, we've lost you. Mhm. Okay, Faithful,
Hello, ma,
can
can
you
you hear
hear
me?
me? We can. I asked a question and we didn't hear you. How are you?
Yes, I can.
We can hear you.
I'm doing very well. Thank you, ma. How are you doing?
Please, can anyone hear her? I can hear her.
Serious.
Can we hear what she's
I don't know.
saying?
I can
I
hear
need
you
to know if
clearly. I don't know why you can't
if
hear
it's
me.
from my end. Can you hear me? Because I can't hear you. Are you talking? Because I cannot hear you. Oh, she's talking. I can hear her. Can I have
I can hear you. I
the
can hear
earpiece? Can I
you.
have it? Let
I
me see if
can
I can
hear
hear her
you.
because I can hear her and I need to hear her. If I must, can I hear? I can hear her. Okay, so hold on, everyone. I cannot hear Faithful. Um, I want to try if I can hear her with this, but if I cannot hear her, okay, Chine says she can hear her. Okay, great. Let me see if I can. So Faithful, can you speak? Let me see if I can hear you talk. Let me. Your connection is even having problem. I'm losing you from my end. Can you join back? You're not connected. Or is it from my my end. It's showing no connection. So Faithful, can you talk? I want to know if it's my laptop. How are you? Can you just say something? I can't hear you. Say something. Let me see if I
Okay,
can hear
ma.
you now.
I can hear
Okay,
you. I can hear
great.
you clearly.
Okay.
I'm
It was my laptop.
talking. I can hear you clearly. I don't know.
Okay. I can hear you now. It's from my laptop.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, ma.
So I guess because there's sorry I couldn't hear her until I had to get this thing for me to be able to hear her. Faithful, I apologize for that. I wasn't hearing you. And so, ladies, I wanted to say ladies and gentlemen. I now remember that it's just ladies. And so, ladies, our guest speaker is here, and I hope your questions are ready. So I'm going to just give her the platform to talk about herself, talk about what she does, and then we can now ask her questions that make her the fascinating woman. So, Faithful, over to you. Tell us who you are, what you do, what makes you the fascinating woman for today. Because you're our fascinating woman, not just for today, right? Just because you are our guest today, but what makes you fascinating? You came here. Are you talking? Oh my God, I think I'm having serious network problem today. Faithful, if you can hear me, can you hold on? Please, can we hear Faithful? I want to know if it's my problem. Can anyone hear what she's saying? Her network is bad. I think I thought as much. Faithful, can you read the comment section? Your network is bad. I can't hear you. Do you need to reposition yourself? Because I can't hear you. Okay, so can you try reconnecting? I'm not hearing you at all. And I always interview. Okay, everyone is complaining that we can't hear you. So I think it's your network. So can you join, connect again, and let's try. So I'm dropping message in your WhatsApp so that you can read it, and we can go from there. All right. We can hear you. So try to connect again. Try connecting again. From my end, it's saying no connection. I don't know where you stay. I don't know the network you use, but we can hear you. Faithful, can we try? Can someone try getting to her and ask her to reconnect? Our network is bad. So meanwhile, why we wait for Faithful to try to join? We apologize for that. That is Nigerian network. It's always going here and there, here and there, here and there. It's never stable. So we are looking at the fascinating woman, and what makes someone fascinating is a person or a lady that is that holds it all. Okay, so you are exceptional in everything you do. That's basically what it means to be fascinating. A woman that is exceptional, a lady that is exceptional in everything you do. How are you able to be multifaceted? How are you able to be multi-talented? You're doing different things and you're still able to hold it together. That is what it means to be fascinating. And in each thing you are doing, you do it with excellence. You do it with integrity. You do it with exceptionality. Okay, so that is why we have brought Faithful to talk about herself. Please, can we try to get Faithful? We've lost you. You're not on camera. Can we try to reach her? Adrian or somebody, one of the escorts, can you try reaching her? Or Ruth, can you try reaching your guest speaker? We've lost her, so that we can wrap up in 1 hour time. Okay, so all right, I think she's joined again. Okay. All right, so let's say if we're going to hear you. So go on, tell us about yourself. Tell us what makes you
Okay, Ma, can you
fascinating.
hear me now?
Yes, we can. Yes,
Hello, Ma.
we can hear you. Go on. Go on. Oh, I don't know what's happening to Faithful. It keeps saying, Faithful, we could hear you. I don't know what happened. Your network is bad, and I would have asked you for the network you used before now. Your network is bad. So can you try joining again? Please, let's try to reach her. I was I was letting her know that we can hear her. If you don't reach out to her, I'm going to use one of you as the guest today. Okay. Faithful, go on and talk. We don't have time.
Can you hear me now? I can just go on.
Go on. Go on.
Okay, let me check comment session. I just need somebody to tell me they can.
Please, can we tell her that we can hear her? Those of you that can hear me, please tell her that we can hear her so that she can go on. I don't know why she cannot hear me. Please, where are the ladies, the Firebrand ladies? Can you tell her we can hear her so that she can go on? Faithful, I'm sending you message. You're not reading your private chats. Go on. Her network band is very low. I can see it from here. Your network is very poor. Faithful, that's the problem. Your network it's now better now. So can you talk? Can we have someone try to reach her? Please, we've spent 17 minutes doing nothing. Ruth, Adrian, can you reach her and tell her that she should just keep talking? If I can't hear her, she should keep talking. Please, we truly apologize. It shows that the ladies didn't come together to pray for their program. It shows you didn't pray for your program. Is there a way somebody can get Miss Faithful? Can we have someone get to her so that she would just start talking? I'm trying to call her on WhatsApp, but it's not even connecting. I think our network um, band is very low. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to so what will happen is Faithful, I'm going to remove you from the scene and you will join again. Let me try to Okay, so we'll just watch her join again. We'll try to make her join again, and let's see if it works. Her network is very bad. I apologize for this. Okay, I it's the inevitable that happened. I usually don't use this when I'm interviewing speakers, but I had to use it because I can't even hear her. Okay, so can you get her to join again? All right, she's here. Let me just go on and talk. We don't have time. Go on.
All right, just consistent breaking. If you can hear me, my name is Faithful Okezie, and I run a baking brand named Nachi Bites. And I also run a gospel community named Godhood, and we are just barely 4 months old. I've been baking for 4 years plus, and the gospel community I run is about 4 months old, and I can only say God has been faithful. God has been really faithful. I just got done with school in January this year, and it has been an amazing experience. It has been an amazing experience. It's been from one leadership position in school to another. I just feel like personally, God has trusted me enough. He has entrusted me with souls. He has entrusted me with people. He has entrusted me with a lot, and probably that's one of the major things that makes me fascinating, as we call it. So um I know I'm supposed to be getting questions from our host, but I think I will just go ahead and talk. Before I continue, please just let me know if you can hear me, and then I'll continue. I won't waste your time at all. I just need one comment from the comment section, and then I'll continue. Just let me know if you can hear me, and then
We can
I'll
hear
shoot. I'll
you.
just keep talking.
Can you hear me? We can hear you. So just talk about how you are able to first before we get into the questions. Talk about what makes you fascinating in the sense that you're baking. You're a graduate. And you also run a ministry. So how do you combine all of that together?
But in final year, God dragged me into ministry. In final year, such a critical time in my education.
Wow. We apologize for Faithful's network. I really don't know where she's connecting from. Her network is really very terrible. I apologize for all the breaches, all right? I know it makes what she's saying not to be it makes it difficult for you to be able to make much of what she's saying. Sorry about that. Okay, a lot of you were really looking looking towards this program. Okay, but Nigeria network can be unpredictable and frustrating. So truly sorry about this. She can't even hear me very well. So even if she's struggling with network, she will not even know. She will not even know that we can hear her. So Faithful, if you're listening, I just want you to know that we have lost you. If you can hear me, can somebody is supposed to be, messaging her, telling her that we've lost you, so that she would know we've totally lost you. Maybe I'll try removing you from the scene again, and let's see if you can join afresh. Okay, but in the little she said her parents played a very major role in her becoming a lot. She said she describes herself to be a lot. Okay, and when you say you're a lot, it means you're a handful, and that's a very good phrase to describe oneself with, you know. And I was going to ask her age, because with all the achievement, you need to hear how old she is, so young, and she's this embodiment of fascination. So she said her parents at age 9 made her join prayer group where they pray every night. And I think that was what shaped. I said there is no her without God, that it was just God that shaped her life, and she owes it all to God and to her parents. That's a good thing when you have very awesome parents. They kind of set your path on time. And then she said it was in final year that she got into ministry. Can you all hear me? I'm just trying to recount what she said. Let's try to get back to her and ask her to rejoin, because I took her off so that she can rejoin. So she said it was in final year that she joined ministry, that she began to do ministry. And for those of you that are in school or that are about to get into the university, you would know that the final year is a very critical time. That that if you were not careful with your studies, you're going to lose good grades that can take you to the next level of your life, the next season of your life. Can somebody get to her? Who has a number? I think Madam Ruth William. Can you get to her and tell her that if she can do it on WhatsApp, I can call her and see if her voice will be audible enough for the viewers. At least they are seeing my face and they can hear her voice. I think that would be better. So when you've done that, just type, I've informed her. Let me see if I can call on WhatsApp and we can take her. Okay, her network is really is bad. So once she comes back online, we will just ask her the fascinating questions so that we will wrap up on time. Truly sorry about the Firebrand ladies, their program. I am truly sorry. I'm trying to call her. If she's able to pick, we'll take her from the would feature her on call. Okay. So can we try to reach her and tell her to try? I think reloading her phone will be better. Okay. Maybe turn off her data, turn off her phone, and try to reconnect. Can you pass that message across to her? Try to. I will not take the fascinating lady, fascinating woman. No, I will not take the program. You need somebody your age to tell you these things, not me. Okay, so it has to be somebody your age. And if your leader were to be here and ready, I will feature her. It's the same thing. I'll feature her because her guest is unable to make it. So I will just feature her. Ruth William, are you sure I will not feature you to be the one that will speak to the ladies? That is what you're supposed to do in this moment as a leader. Okay, so what do you say? What do you say? Can I get the leader of Firebrand lady, tell me what is the next step? Because people are just here looking at us. We're not doing anything. Are you able to reach Faithful? Do we take her on call, or do we feature your leader, Ruth, to take the stage? It's the same thing, it's the same questions. You just um go on with the program. Are we able to reach to her? So can we do something? Can I get a feedback? What's the problem with Faithful? Um why am I not getting to her? Okay, so I'm trying to get to her right now. Uh, I've asked her to rejoin. Let me see if I can take, if I try taking on call, if it's going to be better. I'm going to call her now and put it on speaker. Faithful. Good. So can you talk? Please, viewers, let's put it on the comment section if we can hear her. So just go on because we don't have time again. Go on. I'm going to ask you questions in 2 minutes. Yes.
Okay, this is a lot better. Cool. Okay, I'm really sorry about the network. So I'm just going to start from where I stopped. I don't even know if you guys were hearing before. I was saying, Aunty Kelechi asked how was it to like merge everything together as a student. And I was saying that first off, I'm going to keep mentioning God in this conversation because I don't see me doing anything without God. And then secondly, my parents, I think I had talk about them because they really stretched me as a child, made me do things that yeah, a lot bigger than me to some extent. You know, leadership, they made me handle leadership positions in school. I was handed leadership positions as well. And these things have a way of stretching us, okay? And that's why I tell people that if by any chance God gives you the leverage to lead people, you should just take it because that's a major way of being able to gain capacity to do a lot. So when people ask me how I'm able to do this and that, it's just God that has stretched me so far. So I can handle a lot. I tell people I'm a lot of things. I can handle so much. It's not I'm just giving go ahead to. So that's one thing. If wherever you find yourself, church, school, wherever, just try to be bold enough and take up every responsibility given to you. So I'm a baker. I got those good grades. I'm proud. I'm proud about that. And then I want the gospel community. It's all God and
Okay, so thank you for that brief. So we'll just get into asking our questions. Please, if you have any questions, sorry, I know we've lost a lot of people during the break in communication, but not to worry. Please endeavor to ask your question. But I'm going to ask you this question. What advice do you have for the next generation, for this generation of women? Because I can't say the next generation, you are in this generation. So for this generation of young girls, especially those of them, their eyes are so up there, they don't want to be stretched, and so they want to they love everything they see on social media, but they don't want to build, they don't want to work to get there. They just want the fanciful lifestyles. So what is your advice to those young ladies of your generation?
okay, ma. Thank you so much. My utmost advice is to be distinct, to be very different. Right now, it's as if everybody is doing the same thing. The only thing that makes you different, when we say a fascinating woman, we mean somebody that is interesting, like there's something interesting about you. Especially people may not even be able to put their hands on it, but they know that there is something interesting about you. So my first advice is try to be different. And trust me, the Holy Spirit can actually make you very different. Everybody is doing the same thing. Everybody is derailing
practically everybody, the dressings, the norms, everything is changing. What used to be seen as bad and evil before is now the norm. So the first thing to do is make an intentional effort to be different. Second, follow process. Right now, there is a shortcut to being successful, especially in Nigeria. There is a shortcut. Everybody is following that shortcut. But the funny thing is, ask people that followed shortcuts 10 years ago where they are now. There is no results. The results ended. So you cannot compare somebody who has followed process to somebody who followed shortcuts. In fact, let me not mince words. We have Yahoo boys everywhere now, and then we have girls everywhere now. I'm not saying we have such people here, but I am saying that apart from being a Yahoo boy or being a Runs girl, there are other shortcuts in Nigeria that people follow. And then tell me how a Yahoo boy wants to sustain himself for the next 10 years, and then compare it to somebody who has built a business in the same 10 years. The person that built a business has seen thick and thin. The person has gained experience. The person has kicked stones, and the person knows what pain is. The person knows how to manage money. You can never compare both. You have to follow the process because those that follow shortcuts, yeah, they are going to reach, they are going to gain from their future before they should. It's like two people running a race, and it's the same cross line they're supposed to reach. And then one person decides to branch and reach somebody while the other person is still running. That branching to reach somebody is taking your time. It's almost the same thing. You should not try to follow shortcuts. See, the people of the Israelites in the Bible, when God released them, it was so difficult on the way to the promised land, so much that they wanted to turn back to Egypt. They were asking Moses, "What is this? Is this what God promised us?" They wanted to turn back, but then they just had to keep going, because I tell people, no matter how difficult it is, don't try to turn back to Egypt. It's not going to be funny. So you just have to keep going, keep following process. I think most times when I get questions like this, I just tell people these major things: follow process, trust God, don't try to turn back, and don't follow shortcuts. I'm trying to save time. There's a lot to say, but let me just stop here, ma.
Great. And I love what she said. Number one thing I picked is she said the fascinating woman is an interesting woman. You remember when I talked about exceptional before she came online? She said it's the same thing as saying exceptional. It means you're just interesting. And follow process. That is how you will get there. Follow process. So I'm going to quickly answer the next question. What are the biggest challenges you have encountered, and what are the compromises, if any?
Mm. Okay. One of the biggest challenges I've encountered is, I think, first off, it should be that you know unintentionally people get intimidated, and it doesn't make me happy. Okay, people see that I do a number of stuff, and then some people react positively and some people react negatively. In fact, let me hit the nail on the head. I have lost friends, and that is paramount for growth. At some point, I really felt bad that I'm losing friends. But then I spoke to some people, and they were like, "Congratulations, you are growing. If you've not lost friends in your walk in life, then trust me, you are stagnant. You will lose friends by the time you unashamedly carry what God has asked you to do on your head. People will feel intimidated. Your friends will feel like you're doing too much. People will leave you, and that is the truth. It can be very lonely. So that was a major challenge. I grew up with a lot of people around me. My dad's a pastor, and we go from church to church. I meet new people, new friends, new everything. And before you know, I'm now becoming an introvert. Like, not before, like this was not the plan. So, I lost friends. That was a major challenge for me. I felt like I had a problem. Once I started talking to people, and people are like, no, it means I'm going to an adult, going into, doing what God wants me to do. That was like a major challenge. And then, being in a school environment can be very tempting. You see your age mates. In fact, in fact, age mates aside, I'm a baker. I'm seeing my fellow baker buying human hair of 250,000. I'm asking, who are the same baking we are doing? Abi, Abi, I'm not doing something right.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Check into some of these people, not all.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these people, they add something else.
and the cover plan is dating.
Yes.
So
Small girl, big God. Mhm. Mhm.
if you want to, if this good getting, they pay at all.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but thank God for God. But every time these feelings come true, there is just I just have to turn back to God and pray, and God has a way of, calming me down. That is like one of the major challenges. And speaking of compromise, I compromised once. I'm not even going to lie about that. There was
Okay.
this time, and I know that. That I tried to get more help by getting into a relationship. Because I'm sure everyone was right. See this one. Is this the plan?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you get into a relationship, and I found out that he was making me even late. Yes, because he had everything. He had everything, and then in this our present world, you cannot get that much without giving something back.
Exactly.
I couldn't. I just couldn't, and then it became very depressing. I just had to run for my life. I just had to. So there are some of us, let me say this last thing. There are some of us that are not committed to go the same way other people are going. Never. If you try it, you will lose your source. You will lose your distance. This is for somebody.
Yes.
So don't even try it. Amen.
Amen. Pastor, thank you so much. Did you hear her? Please, I'm just seeing only comments from the Rainbow platform. Online, can we hear her clearly, loud and clear, right? Are we listening to what are you listening to what a young lady like you is saying to you? And she's been vulnerable and sincere. All right, not many people would want to do this. A lot of we're in an era where people camouflage a lot, people cover up, people want to always appear pious and righteous and all that. Please listen to what she's saying. Her challenges, she lost friends. Because if you're growing, in our foundation academy, I always tell people when you're growing, you will lose things, including human being, you will lose friends because they are not going towards the same direction as you are. And some of them are even jealous of you. So you're going to lose friends if you must be fascinating. Okay, so you must be an interesting person working in the direction God has already planned for you. And remember, she said she tried to compromise, but not everybody can go to the same direction. Not everybody can try what everyone else is trying. So please pay attention. I know she cannot go into details because of time, but please, the little we can grab it, all right? Can I see people drop drop your thoughts in the comment section so I will know if you can hear her or not. So the next question I want to ask you is what steps can be taken in becoming a fascinating woman? What are the steps that can be taken?
Okay, first things first, like I said, I said from the beginning, you forgive me if I keep mentioning God in this conversation.
Why are you asking me to forgive you? That's an interesting thing.
Okay. Small that there are Muslims here, and I keep telling them that even Muslims, and they want to talk, they're ashamed of calling
No.
I have to one thing. So thank you for giving permission because I'll keep mentioning God, yeah? First, you just have to put God in the picture. Rub it in everybody's faces. That makes you fascinating. In this world where nobody is talking about God and decide to talk about God, that is already very interesting now. In fact, that is practically what brought me here. Funny enough, that is what has brought me here because I don't do anything without God. Okay, and then next thing is be bold. When I was preparing for this program, I was trying to study other fascinating women in the Bible, and there was uh, one peculiar feature all of them had. They were all bold. Talk about Esther,
Deborah, talk about who are the women that the Hebrew midwives in the Bible, right? Talk about we have prostitute. They all these women took bold steps. Imagine those midwives in the Bible, the greatest king at that time asked them to kill all the male children. And somehow they stood in front of the king and they disobeyed. They even had to make up excuses. They didn't even think about the risk that their lives would enter if the king found out that they were not telling him the truth. They first followed God. That was like an extreme boldness. Talk about Naomi and the rest, the rules, they were too bold. So before you say you can be an interesting person, you have to be bold. You have to carry the hands of God. Put your hand on your chest, hit your chest every time I'm saying you're a bold woman. Take bold steps. Okay, and then another thing is you cannot try to be a bold, fascinating woman if people around you are not. They will have tendencies of suppressing your boldness and fascination. It's the truth. So when you're trying to be fascinating, you have to be with other fascinating people, because if you're not influencing them, they are influencing you, and there's a problem if people influencing you are more in number than you and your own friends are trying to fascinate yourself. So maybe you just have one person in circle that things like you. The problem, you have to move out.
That's right.
You have to move out. So you need to create a circle. Now, the interesting thing is you can be intentional about creating a fascinating circle. If you find out that in your circle you are the only one that thinks different, that talks about God, that does this and that, the first thing to do is move away first. Move away and bring out strategies to actually bring people over. You cannot be in, it's not possible. You cannot be in that circle
and try to win them.
You cannot be there when they're like 5 against 1. For instance, I had this student. She attends my baking class. She attends my baking class, and every time I'm playing gospel songs in my baking studio, and she's like, she cannot remember the last time she ever listened to a song like that. Her friends every Friday night take her to clubs and all that. I'm like, okay, let's talk about this. Are you tired? Are you actually tired of going to clubs with your friends? I was like, yes. So she's tired that sometimes she comes to my baking class looking forward to the music show. So we had to create strategies to first bring her out, and we brought her out. And then we are like, who's the first person you want to bring out of that set? She mentioned Elizabeth. I'm like, okay, let us take her to Elizabeth. Elizabeth went to the next person, Miracle. Just like that, everybody in her circle stopped getting calls just because she attended my baking classes, and then we brought all of them out. So you cannot be a superwoman in this thing. You have to be strategic. So before you say you want to run people over, just come out first. That's it. So I'm sorry, I've talked so much about that.
No, that's great. That's great.
Okay, thank you, ma. Another thing, should just be unconventional, have a vision about your future. Another thing is you should not strive for accomplishment. I like telling people this. Rather strive for impact. When we leave this earth, what people remember us for is not the house we built, though. It's the lives we impacted. People will remember you for the lives you impacted. So I do not strive just for accomplishment. I strive for impact. How many people would mention my name and say, because of Faithful, my life changed. Because of Faithful, I love God more. Because of Faithful, this happened to my life. That is what you should be striving for. That is the interesting thing. This thing I'm saying now, what's fascinating. Amen.
That is a handful. And please, I'm not seeing our comments. I'm just seeing the comments in the Rainbow platform, Rainbow Utils platform. I don't know if we are following too, but this is really a handful, because you know why this is very interesting. It's coming from your age mates. If mothers like us are talking, it will look like, oh, is Aunty Kelechi? Aunty Kelechi is getting old. Don't mind the way she's looking, but coming from your age mates, it is wonderful. It is like, I feel so blessed to know this young lady. So I hope you are taking notes. We still have time. All right, it's supposed to be 1 hour plus program, so we still have time. So take your time to explain. I hope you got the key points. Impact over achievements and acquiring or whatever you want to acquire, who did you impact? What did you do to somebody that changed the person's life? That is what will be remembered for. Okay. And you need to be strategic in your association. You cannot break out. You cannot break people out when you've not broken yourself out. And that's why the Bible talks about, I can't remember the scripture, but it's in Exodus to say, come out from among them. So you will first save yourself. You need to separate yourself. Then you start thinking, how do I separate others? You can't stay in their midst and say, Lord, I want to change them. How? You can change them. So these are very awesome points. So I'm going to ask you the next question. Thank you for explaining it like this. And I want you to also explain your points very well so that they would also understand. And please, if you have your questions, we will take at least 3 questions. All right. Can you drop your questions? I'm not seeing comments. Those of us dropping comments in Rainbow, Adrian and Co, can we start dropping it on the comment section here so I can see what we are doing? Ask your questions, please, directly on the show, not in our inbox. So I want to ask you, this question is very important to me because a lot of times young people don't know how to strike the balance, and we keep teaching this, how to strike balance, how to strike balance. It's as if we that are talking, we're not youth anymore, so they are not listening. So how were you able to balance school? I know you said in your final year you had a call to ministry. So, and then before your final year, you've already been baking. So how were you able to balance school, business, and ministry?
Thank you. The very first thing should be time management. Extreme time management. I think it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's rosy, it's easy. No, it's not. But when you have something driving you, when you have a goal, you do everything to achieve that. Okay, so first thing for me was time management. People know me. Once school is over, once my class is over, I'm running home. I'm always running. Always running because my time. Like you cannot waste time. Most times, okay, let's go out. We have to go. It is not wrong in any sense. No, it's not. But busy person. So before you tell me you should go out, I'd rather you come to my house. So whilst I'm making whatever conversation I want us to have, we'll have it there. So there is time management, and then we are students. When I say you are students and then you're doing business and doing so that stuff, you have to understand you're a student and you're not in school to be comfortable. So you are not in school to be comfortable.
All of you that want comfort, are you listening? All of you students that want comfort, you want to have generator, have AC, have this one, have that one, have iPhone. Are you listening?
No, nobody needs to comfort in school.
Good.
You shouldn't. Even if you're offered comfort, you should reject it because it's going to ruin a lot. So it is not. Most times when I do all these things, I just tell myself, my course is 4 years. I have 4 years, I'll rest. And I tell myself that if I graduated, I'll graduate. And I've graduated. It's just a time thing. I envy politicians a lot because these guys, they work with time. They see the future. Tinubu that just contested elections now. Do you know how long this man has been planning? You know how much money he saved just to, rig elections and pay people off?
Nigerian youth. Tinubu, have you heard? Nigerian youth, they've called you out that you rigged the election.
Politicians work with time.
Yeah.
They know the essence of time and seasons. They know. The person that wants to be president in 2030, he's already being a son. He already has a godfather son. That is the truth. That's the difference between these people at the top and us that are trying to be up there. And by God's grace, God will help us. Strategic timing. You know what season it is. When I was in school, I knew that this was my season to hustle, to study, to come out with good grades. Now I'm out of school. It's as if I'm even comfortable. And I'm not even comfortable with how I'm comfortable. Because I'm not where I want to be. So we have to be strategic with timing. When it is time to read, you read. When it's time to do business, you do business. Funny enough, some of us don't have our priorities right, and that's a problem. We have to have a
Priorities.
hierarchy. Yes, to have like a step-by-step list of priorities. So when I got to school, I made my priorities right. So therefore, I can have a cake to make. I remember one painful order I rejected, 30,000. That was a lot of money. But then there was this class I could not miss for anything. I had to place my priorities. It's always school before my business, no matter what.
That's right.
I did not do it. So you cannot gain balance. I made sure everything I did, I made sure that one thing did not suffer because of the other. Never.
Yes.
It never happened. Never ever happen. If I have a cake to bake and my client is saying, please I need it in the next 2 hours, I'll tell you upright, I cannot do it. I can't. You cannot, I'm a student, you cannot be telling me one cake in the next 2 hours. So that's where some of us get into trouble. We either overdo or underdo. But here we are trying to gain balance. You need to tell yourself, this is my limit, this is what I can do. So when you're in class and you have a job to attend to, you know your priorities. My own priority was school first, of which that is how it's supposed to be. But then you know your priorities. If you know that you cannot give up this for this, simply tell your clients, I cannot do this for this. And this may sound really painful, but even for church service, even for serving
Good.
in school. Yes, most times I say this, people in the fellowship and all, they don't like hearing me, but it's the truth.
Thank you. Can you use microphone and say it? Listen, this is a conversation. Let me pause you there. I always tell young people, especially those of them when they join Rainbow Youth, they tell me, I ask them, how are your grades? What happened to this? They tell me, oh, I had a class, but I'm going on retreat. And I'm like, you're going on retreat? Yes. Where I say one mountain or whatever, wherever they want to go for convention. And I always ask them, so what happens to your studies? You leave your studies and you say your mentors or your ministry is taking you to go to a workers retreat or whatever. It doesn't make sense. You are first a student. So sit yourself in school and get your good grades. Don't go to any fellowship that always takes you out of your studies. It is not, please, you're hearing it. You're not hearing it from a sinner. Because when I talk to this Aunty Kelechi, that woman is so disciplined. You're hearing it from a young person like you. You are first in school to make your good grades, not to be perambulating and saying that you are the president of any fellowship that makes you not to take your studies seriously. That is wrong. Even the Bible says, whatever thy hands finds to do it with all diligence. And what Faithful is saying, she didn't let her studies suffer because of her business. She didn't let her studies suffer because she must be in one fellowship or the other. No. Balance, time management. I had to stop out here because I wanted to reiterate what I've been saying. It doesn't work. You can't leave your classes and say you are going for convention or prayer camp. No, it is not done. It is wrong, and it's not a fascinating woman. Go on, my darling.
Okay, ma, so it's like basically everything, but in the end, God will not want us to fail. It's going to be very disappointing that you're in the bid to please God, another part of your life is fail. That's not God's plan. God doesn't want us to fail at all. So it's not deceive ourselves and say you are students, but you're carrying church on your head, you're always in fellowship and all that. That's not what God. I heard once that one fellowship president was a spillover student. Why? Like I really challenged that. I had to challenge that dispensation, that generation of leadership. Why is fellowship president a carryover as an extra student? You like no, it doesn't make any sense
at all. Thank you.
School, you report at some point, as if in fact all the people that are failing, they're fellowship people.
Fellowship.
It was so disappointing, and I had to promise myself that I will not be in that category.
Great. I graduated from Uniport, first degree and even second degree many years ago. And while I was doing my first degree as an undergraduate, I was in humanities too, like you, and I was a faculty secretary during my time. While I was in school, I was very committed in fellowship. but I was not always in every activity. And they were always defaulting me. And I tell them, my academics cannot suffer because I must come to fellowship. For what? You can take away the post. I was very clear on this. I read we can do, and I graduated with something that is making me enjoy in Canada. If I was doing all the fellowship, I will not be here today because I'll have a very poor result. Balance is the key, because I know that this message today would hit a lot of you young ladies and the guys. I'm seeing some guys join us. Don't play religion with your future. Don't do that. That is why Rainbow Youth Ministry is not religious. We give you the right tools and knowledge to live better lives. Jesus is not religion. Don't let this brainwashing. If you don't come to fellowship, you will die. Who says that? So balance, and thank you for this. I'm really happy you are saying this, truly. And this video, we're gonna boost it. We're gonna sponsor it so that people can watch it and hear this truth, especially the Christian youth. Most of them always end up with poor grades. But we can break all those barriers when we set our priorities right. Thank you so much. So I'll ask you the next question. There are biases, in becoming a woman that is fascinating, in becoming a woman that is exceptional. So in your own case, how were you able to break the biases surrounding you becoming very fascinating, becoming this multi-talented young woman? Well, how were you able to break the biases?
Okay, breaking the bias, I had to even ask Ruth to explain the question. Okay, but I didn't really get that. But
Breaking what it means is, how were you able to break all the roadblocks, the oppositions, those opposing forces, that, oh, you cannot as a Christian baker, you cannot get to this level. As a Christian student, you cannot do this, you cannot break through this level, you cannot get this one. How were you able to break through all these biases and things like, oh, you're still a student now, you've not become a celebrated baker, I don't think you can handle wedding cakes. How were you able to break all these biases?
thank you for explaining.
You will.
So, first thing that actually helped me skills was experiences. It's going to be different for a lot of us, but I went through hell that, such hell can either make you want to step up or step down. But somehow God helps me step up instead. I was actually close to people who would tell me straight up, yeah, they need it here. They will tell me straight up that faithful your disappointment. I hate that. That time over and over again. Faithful, we cannot do this. Like I was always telling me that I want to be there for one stage or that I don't know. When I hear these things, I'm itchy. It's a way of feeling myself. But then, in fact, the funny thing is, when I broke out of that was when my brand was perfect. When people kept telling me I could not, you're too small, this and that was when my brand started. Though my brand, I'm not going to lie about this, my brand started on a very, very wrong notion. I started my brand so that I'll pepper people. That was the truth. I started my brand so that I will show them. But then God helped my heart, and God told me that this is not why I gave you this brand. I gave you this brand to glorify me, to glorify God. And then I had to ask God, I had to ask for mercy, I had to repent. God was even checking to take my light away from me. Because funny enough, I was actually preparing people. I'm not going to just tell me I could not. Just come and borrow money from me. And funny enough, days I did not have money to give them, I would go and give them just so that, hey, I would say I borrowed them money. It was that bad. So first off, when people have said bad things about you, there's anybody here that somebody has told you cannot do it, or you cannot gain this, you cannot attain this height. And then don't step down, step up, let that be your motivation. You see, when people throw you stones, use it to form ladders. Step up.
Step up.
Whatever anybody has told that you can't, you're a woman, you're not supposed to be doing this. It's a lie. There is something about the fascinating woman. She's yin and yang. It's a Chinese phrase that means masculine and feminine. So there are some things that people will say you're a woman, you're not supposed to. It's a lie. I am yin and yang. I have both masculine and feminine powers. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I have taken up boldness of a lion, boldness of God. I have. So, like I said from the beginning, our experiences may be different. My own, I have heard lots of bad stuff. People have ruined my ego. People have said things to my face, and that was what made me. That was how I broke bias. That's how I stepped up. But some other people, you're going through something right now, boy, you do not even know that that is what you are supposed to use to step up. Some of you are experiencing severe lack right now, but you don't know that God is teaching you to depend on Him. Some of you are experiencing loneliness, heartbreak. That is God teaching you to step up and encourage someone else. That's God teaching you to step up. So we have to be sensitive to these lessons. That is one way of breaking the bias. We have to just be sensitive. And then another thing is, women. Women, they have problems.
Plenty.
Some of them, they have problems. When a woman, when a few women, though the percentage is really high, when they attain a certain level, they don't have to share. They don't have to share their knowledge. It is a thing for women. Women are created with the tendency to compete. It's not bad. It's not bad to compete. But then there are some people you should never compete with. And secondly, it is not wrong to share knowledge. My sharing knowledge to other people has gained me a lot. That's another way of breaking bias. If by any means God has placed you in a position to share, please do. You're only as I'm talking today, I'm learning. There's some things I'm saying that I don't even I'm like, so you have sense like this. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So whenever you have the opportunity to share, please share. It's women empowering women.
Yes.
That kind of thing. So that's another way to break the bias and pull out a different front. Pull out a different front. Make sure that people are when they are saying women, you're not in that category. When they are saying women are this, men are that, you are not in that category. So that's just basically it.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to ask you the last question. What is your advice to the young lady out there who is confused, who doesn't even know? Like you mentioned something about process. A lot of them don't want to follow process. A lot of them don't want to submit to process, and process can mean anything: training, mentoring, anything. They don't want to submit to process. A lot of them are even confused. They feel, oh, what makes them fascinating is by following all the celebrities on social media and commenting on every celebrity's post. That makes them exceptional and all that. So what is your advice to the young girl listening to you, maybe the one growing up in her preteen age, or the young lady already in your age and a little bit ahead of you? What would be your sincere advice to them?
Okay, thank you. Our first things first. Like I said earlier, think about your future a lot. I'm obsessed with my future personally. I'm very obsessed with my future, and that makes me not do some things and makes me do some other things. Okay, so when your future is all you think of every morning you wake up, your perspective about life will change. Following process can be a lot. It can be a lot, but then I like listening to documentaries of other great people, and it helps me a lot. You should too. You can search for documentaries of other people, and you will see that this thing is not happening. You will never find documentaries of Yahoo boys. You will never find documentaries of Ron's girls anywhere
At all.
because they did their own sharp, and sharp it will end. That's the truth. It's like I already said, like stealing from your future. Please don't steal from your future. Do not steal from your future. When you get to the future, you will lack. You will lack. The truth is, how long can we work? Now, the retirement age is supposed to be like 60 years, and then some of us want to live to 90. So from 60 years to 90 years, what will you be living on? You should ask yourself that. When you're 60, you're not supposed to be working from age 60 to 90. What will you be feeding on? What will you eat? is what you're supposed to be working on now. That's what you're supposed to be working on right now. And then before somebody comes to tell me that following shortcuts, doing Yahoo, blah blah blah, you invest money, you are joking. See, money you stole, money you did not get right, can never be sustained.
That's right.
Never. I'm saying this from experience. I mean, I've been close to, I'm a baker now. I've been close to so many clients. I know how to turn clients to friends, and I've won most of them to God. My clients, of them, they do the whole Yahoo thing. They'll tell me that, I started a barbing salon. So this other girl will say, I started a hairdressing salon, I started a spa. But then 2 years down the line, the funny thing is they'll use their hand and sell it because the money they had in their pocket will finish.
That's right.
Money you not sweat to get, you spend it anyhow. That's the truth. And it's so bitter to taste the good life. And then maybe 3 years later, you cannot even afford Gary to drink.
I'm telling you.
It is bitter. It is bitter. And the instance I gave about running a race and then you're branching, it's the same thing. Then in 3 years, you've already tasted what you're supposed to be tasting in the next 10 years. And then the next 2 years, you are suffering. You will hate yourself.
That's right.
Don't follow shortcuts. It's going to ruin your future. It will ruin not just yours, your children's, your generation. So first advice is follow process. It is not funny, it is not easy, but follow process. So that when you're telling your story, it's going to be sweet.
Thank you so much, my darling, for being this amazing. Thank you. I apologize to our viewers for what network did to us. We're not able to see her face because the essence of this program is so that we can see our speaker talking to us. We can see her when she smiles and all that. But not to worry, we'll bring her again for another session. So my fingers are already paining me holding on the phone. So I'm going to let her go and then I wrap up. Thank you, Faithful. God bless you, darling.
Thank you, Ma.
So sorry, I had to let her go. My fingers are already hurting. You can see the mark. I've been holding the phone for 40-something minutes, and the Firebrand ladies are not even telling me, thank you, Ma, for doing this or holding on. All right, so I'm just going to conclude with the concluding part of what she says. What she said, rather. She said, your future should be what will make you not to sleep. That she is very much interested in her future. And I want to ask you, what future do you want to make of yourself and for yourself? What is the future that you want to see? What is the future? Stop perambulating everywhere, wanting to be everywhere, wanting to follow everyone online. Okay, just sit down and ask yourself, what is the future that I want to create? I want to see when I'm 30, when I'm 25, when I'm 30. What is the future that I want to see? It is going to help you to know how to narrow down everything you do just to make sure that you achieve that future. There are salient points that she mentioned. The first thing she mentioned is the God factor. That God must be a priority in your life. And then there's something she mentioned about reading up about people. Those in my mentoring platform, most of them don't know what I do for them when I always give them a name to read up. This is exactly what Faithful just said. It's because when you read up about people, documentaries or whatever you can find online, it helps you to begin to think right and begin to know the certain things you have to put in place in your life if you must become this person that you dream of. So it's good to read up about people, read up about wonderful women, fascinating women doing awesome things. Read them up. Try to align yourself to them. And she said, the people that you read about are people that followed process. You can't see a Yahoo person, a Yahoo boy or small girl, big God story out there. No, it's always people that follow the process. So tell yourself, what is the process you're surrendering to? Are you surrendering to mentorship? Are you surrendering to training, to growing? What process are you surrendering to? You need to follow process because life is not wished for. Life is not hoped for. Life is worked for. So I challenge you, my beautiful young ladies, whether you are in your teens, whether you are in your 20s, I want to indulge you that today, begin to think of how to make your life an interesting read. Begin to think of how to make yourself to be a powerful impact in the lives of others, because life is not wished for, life is not hoped for, life is worked for. You have to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. So whatever future you desire, you must work for it. Okay, so this brings us to the end. Sorry for we took 14 minutes or more, trying to, before we developed this method of calling her, and so that we can have our program. So thank you for joining me for this Firebrand Ladies program. And in case you're joining us for the first time, you can reach out to the Firebrand Ladies. Don't reach out to me, reach out to them. It's their program. I'm just the host for the program, the Firebrand Ladies of Rainbow Youth. So reach out to them. If you have any questions, send it to them, and they would answer your questions. So I will see you on Saturday for When Youth and Teenagers Pray. Thank you for being with me. God bless you. And I will hear your story. I will read your story. I will read your documentary, because you are a fascinating woman. See you next time, and bye-bye.